KKHT wants you to meet three of the classiest guys in real estate.
I am Chris Kelso, the maestro of mortgage.
I am Rob Cook, the godfather of real estate.
And I'm Joe Orsack, the king of credit swing. And together, we're
the Real Estate Rat Pack.
Much like us, real estate right now is smoking hot. So whether it's buying, selling, or owning, you need to check out the Real Estate Rat Pack.
They're here to take your calls and answer your questions live. Call now 1-800-808-5548. And now, the Real Estate Rat Pack!
Yahoo! Good morning.
Stereo howling,
my
we're available.
imagination, or does it get louder every
It gets
week?
louder
I
every
think it's
week.
louder every time. I
It's
think
a
that's
goal.
part of the purpose. You know, the thing is, if we can make you cringe a little bit more every time, I think Joe and I have completed our goal.
I am so
I
glad.
wasn't going to say anything, but Chris and I have been involved in a howling training course.
Yes. Yeah, it's every Tuesday and Thursday, right?
Yes. It's a
Yep.
3-hour class.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually a good technique to it.
Pitch,
You have to be very
timbre.
careful.
Decibel level. It's
Yes.
pretty detailed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get on with getting on here.
Let's
I want to talk briefly about,
Let's get on.
we
That
have
could
our
have gotten dangerous really quickly.
dear friend Liam Helms, who was held up. We've been trying to get them whole again, and we've been doing some fundraisers. And we had
We're not talking traffic when he said held up.
Yes, $25,000 taken from their house.
Yeah,
And,
literally held up.
And anyhow, the bottom line is we did a garage sale last week, and we had Grand Slam garage sales. And tell me, Ben's Wasserstein, is that correct?
Weisenstein.
Okay, there goes that sponsor. We just
Ben!
lost him.
It's Ben.
It's
You know Ben.
Yes, Ben came out and coordinated the sale for us, and we had a really good turnout. Kay Weatherly of Pods donated a pod
Yep.
for us, so we were able to store all the stuff that was given. It was pretty overwhelming how much was donated. We raised about $2,100. That was net to Liam, so it's a little bit of help, but that's not all. We're going to have another event, and it's going to be this Thursday, the 6th, which is at the Corkscrew on 20th Street. Let me get the details here. It's the Corkscrew Wine Bar at 1308 West 20th Street, and it'll be from 6 to 9:30. There's going to be a silent auction. There's going to be one of our other dear friends, Vaughn Peterson, he works with about 3 or 4 different bands. He's going to be out there with some live entertainment. So it's going to be a nice event. There's a $5 cover charge. And it'll be a lot of fun.
Now, if it's a silent auction, how do you know who wins?
we have a mime give you the results.
Okay, sounds good. Just wanted to verify on that.
Silent auctions work. You put down a piece of paper and you go at the end and see who won. But there's one of our dear sponsors, Ashley Bowles, has given he's given up an inspection to be put up for auction. So he's giving away his time. That's a $400 or $500 value depending on the size of your house. So
Absolutely.
There's going to be some great items that have been given. So please come on. Again, that address it's the Corkscrew. It's at 1308 West 20th Street. Our friend Andy Adams is the proprietor and just a good guy. And so come on by. So, Joe?
What? Are we on the air?
You have a guest. You have a guest that you invited on that he claims that he's known you for a while, and yet he still managed to show up. So I figure he must be a pretty brave guy. So you want to go ahead and do introductions?
John is one of my favorite people. We've known each other for quite a while now. Met a few years back in BNI, referral networking business group, and got to know John real well through that. We met every week, and I've just had the fun of watching his company grow and transform over the years, and that's always something I just get really excited about. But he's got a really unique and cool product. It's just, I love entrepreneur stories. I just love it. I love the aspect of how a business can grow and employ people, give people careers, all that sort of thing. It's just stuff I'm really excited about. But here's 2 subjects that kind of meet up. I get to see that and my passion for real estate and all that sort of thing happening.
I love his title, Director of Brand Experience.
Just don't ask me to explain what that means.
So you get extra bounty points with your BNI group for getting him on the radio show. I think you ought to get some extra consideration for that.
There we go. We're going to shorter names because one of our listeners on Facebook here just pointed out it's Weisenstein. Ben Weisenstein.
Was that listener
Yes.
Ben?
Yeah, no. It was Ed Camp.
Okay.
He's correcting me. That's why, our guests are John and
yeah.
Long, and we're just going to stick to easier names now.
I think that's a good.
The guests on the show have to have simple names. We're a simple folk
well,
here.
He'll be just Ben from now on.
Yeah, he's just Ben. Ben was awesome. I loved having him on the show. He's a ball of energy, man.
Very high energy, very nice young entrepreneur.
Yep,
Got a
again.
really unusual program. But let's get back to
John. Guest at hand.
Rabbit Trail.
Yes. Shiny object.
With miracle frames.
Miracle Frames. He
Miracle
has a
Frames.
really unique product out there. Don't know of anybody else doing what these guys do. And it's such a cool thing. It solves a problem at a price point that is great. It gives our folks who own homes a really awesome way to dress up their bathrooms, any mirror in the house for that matter, but also TVs, big screen TVs. They do all this kind of stuff. Neat stuff. I'm going to let him jump in with that. But, John, it's great to have you on the show.
Thanks, Joe.
Introduce us. Let us know who you are, company name, all that sort of business.
Appreciate it. And it has been a pleasure getting to know you, Joe, over the last 4 or 5 years, however long it's been. And
Here's that
and
20 I owe you.
Yeah, exactly. And I do appreciate you having me on. But, Miracle Frames, we started the business, me and my brother, one other partner, back in early 2008. And, it's been a fun ride, just kind of discovering a need out there and then, going to work, creating the solution. So basically, from the beginning of time, so to speak, people have been frustrated by the plain, builder-grade, ugly mirrors, usually held on by clear plastic clips or glued to the wall. And, as Rob, you were saying earlier, getting desilvering on the bottom. And the alternative is ripping them out and having to build something custom, which costs a fortune, and then having to repaint, retexture your walls. So we basically said, what if we could frame an existing mirror on the wall without ripping it out, without all that extra work? And so that's essentially what we did. We created a now exclusive product. Nobody else has our product in the world. We have it exclusively built for our company. And it's a custom frame that installs directly on top of your existing mirrors. So no tear out is needed. So, I know y'all are more from the real estate realm, and obviously we get a ton of referrals from realtors for the purpose of just trying to dress up a home and not make it look like a pile of garbage when they're trying to list the home. So that's kind of the concept. And
that's I already have like a ton of questions, but
Well, we're hoping so. This is a talk radio show.
thank God, it's going to be a lot of dead air otherwise. First of all, how long have you guys been around? Where'd you get started?
we started, well, it dates back to about 1970, actually, Joe, as every, good story.
Wow.
I'm kidding. In a way, I'm kidding.
My father met my mother at this.
Well, sort of, yeah. I do have the old man to credit. He started in the art and mirror business, around 1970.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually didn't know that.
Oh, well, there you go. That's why we're having this conversation, isn't it? Yeah. So we, he started building with a company that built custom artwork and mirrors, and shortly out of college, me and my dad and my brother had this idea, predicated on some other success that one of his accounts, were having on building custom mirrors for builders. Because at the time, this was in 2007. At the time, builders, they have basically two options when it comes to mirrors. They have your glass and shower door company that just installs, flat plate mirror, and then you've got, well, if you want to dress it up, you're going to have to go shop around to different stores and find something that may or may not fit as far as a framed mirror goes. And so they didn't really have anyone that was building nice custom product for them. And so the original idea was just to buy from a wholesale manufacturer and install custom mirrors for builders. That took off. And that was in May of 2007. And so that's where it really started. And then a year into it, as more and more people saw the product we were building, they're, I love that, but, I don't want to rip out my mirror. I don't want to remodel my Joe. I don't want to. I looked at him.
Joe, remodel my
Remodel Joe. That's not a bad. That's a new one right there. Hey Joe, are you in the process of being remodeled?
My wife has claimed that job.
Yeah. So, anyways, they don't want to remodel the whole room. They just wanted the framed mirror, and so that's really where it started. So a year after that, that was April 2007. So we're sneaking up on 6 years since we started this gig, and
Wow.
somehow still in business and still trucking, and it's
Watch how I work this in here.
Uh-oh.
You put them in new homes too, don't you?
absolutely.
So actually, you could go out and work with Joe's wife, Kim, and pick out a nice frame to put in their new home when they buy it.
I think that sounds like an excellent idea.
I think it sounds really good.
Every show.
You know, it's pretty neat, though. You know, what you're talking about right there. If you go out to Miracle Frames, by the way, .com, yeah, it's Mirrorcle Frames, MIRRORCLE Frames.com. You have a really neat gallery. It really shows some of the before and after pictures. And let me tell you, it really enhances the look and feel of a bathroom or a kitchen or anywhere you have those. I mean, it really changes the feel of the room.
I'm always like a huge fan of the big bang for the buck. What's the cheapest thing I can do to get the best return on my dollar? And bathrooms, as we all know, the master bath is one of the focal points in selling a home. What a simple, powerful way to dress up a bathroom. Then take that, plain builder grade, generic mirror that's sticking on the wall and put a custom frame on top of it. It looks like you spent $1,000 on a frame.
And if you bought a mirror like that, it would cost you $1,000. But we talk about trends and lifestyles. The powder room has gotten to be a real focal point because that's where when you have a party or something like that, that's where your guests go use the restroom. And so making that a big statement is a huge trend right now. And
absolutely.
And it's one of those things where, you really need to go to the website and check out the gallery because it's one of those things you just don't appreciate the difference. How simple, just a doggone frame, what a difference makes. It's something I would probably never looked at as a guy. It's just not in my world.
You're a typical guy, Joe.
Yes, yeah. It's just not in my
world.
world.
But he's not your average Joe.
Yeah. But because he was in, my business referral group and all this sort of thing, I'm like, okay, I got to learn John's product and become familiar with it and all this sort of thing because I want to be able to refer to him. And I went to the website and I'm looking through the gallery and I'm like, wow, that's actually really freaking cool.
You should see it in person.
Yeah,
there's one way to see it in person.
So check it out. He gave me this little L-shaped piece of frame that I keep on my desk. And when people come into the office, they're like, what in the world's that? And it's my referral opportunity to talk about what John does. Yeah. But I took that thing to the house, and I was just playing with it and putting it on the mirrors, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, that's such a dramatic difference.
I thought you'd go for that cheap
really
shot
is.
where I've been framed type of
yes,
thing.
I've been framed.
Too easy.
Yes.
So I want to talk about the materials.
That's we say, you've been rat packed when we have a guest on. That's John's tagline when I've been
you've
framed.
been framed.
I want to talk about the materials because it's not a wood product. Let's talk about it and why is that superior to wood or MDF?
Sure. So we've used wood in the past, and wood is okay, but wood does have the tendency to warp. And so what our line is exclusively made out of a resin now, and so there's no wood, no MDF. And again, wood is okay. MDF has a tendency to absorb water or basically dissolve at some point when it gets wet. And obviously, 99% of our product is right behind running water. So, it's important to have something that's durable.
Crazy idea.
So people know what MDF is. It's that material that it's really pressed together sawdust.
That's it.
And it's compressed and they sell it in lengths just like they do wood. And it cuts kind of like wood, but it doesn't paint the same as wood, and it doesn't last as well as wood, but it certainly doesn't last as well as the resin.
But it is like the common stuff you find in mirror frames.
You really do, and it still blows my mind that people use this product in bathrooms and get away with it, and how they warranty it, I don't know. We don't want to warranty it, so we use a product that we know will last.
1 year warranty on the home from the home builder.
Exactly
You just got to make it that far.
The 10-year warranties are always on the structural stuff, not that sort of stuff. So let's talk about some of the. I think we're kind of getting close to a break here, but I want to talk about the styles, the colors.
I still have lots of questions.
Yeah, well,
we've got Will Smith waiting in the green room, but John, I think I want to ask you to stick around, and we're just going to push Will back.
What an honor! What an honor!
We have about 30 seconds for there. Talk about you've got different metallic finishes and color finishes.
Right. When we're talking to builders, they normally think they know exactly what we're talking about until they see the product because they're thinking stained architectural trim, and our product is. From your contemporary to your traditional oil rub bronze, antique gold, pewter, metallic, it actually recreates a look of an actual picture frame. So it's totally different than what you would consider an architectural.
Well, let's say I don't have a mirror. Could I call you up and get a frame mirror and have it brought out?
Absolutely. We build everything mirrors we can do. New
We're already up against the break.
Absolutely.
John, please stick around. We are definitely going to have some more questions
Twist my
for
arm,
you
Joe.
after the
Twist
break.
my arm and I will. Okay.
If you've got questions for John about custom frames for your bathroom or wherever a mirror might be, give us a call, 800-808-5548, and we will be right back after a word from our sponsors.
With room for a couple of cinders.